Hi, come on in. If you love all things crochet, then you are in the right place. And today I'm going to show you how to make this little candy corn. Now, this was a request in a comment from Erica. Thank you for that suggestion. But I really had to investigate candy corn as it's not something that we have over here in Britain. Now, I have seen other people talking about it, but I really want to understand what it was better and obviously exactly what they looked like so that I could recreate them for you here. So this is my interpretation of candy corn. Now on this one I've put a little face and a key ring so that it can be attached to a bag or anything else that you want to. And I just love this little face, he looks super cute. Now these others I've left without faces and I thought that they could be put in a basket or displayed however you like to. But I think that they look great either way. Now today I'm using an arm yarn, but you can obviously use any type of yarn that you want to. Just make sure that you use a corresponding hook. Now I do like to go down a half size hook when I am crocheting anything to do with amigurumi, as I just think it makes a little bit of a tighter stitch which helps the look of the item. And obviously if you use a finer yarn then they will become smaller, and a more chunky yarn they'll be bigger. So that's a good way of being able to get them to a size that you want to. Everything that I've used will be linked in the description box down below. Now I do have an affiliate link, which just means that if you buy from using the links down below, you help to support my channel at no extra cost to yourself. Now we're going to start with a slip knot and chain stitch. So we are going to make our yarn into a loop, cross there at the front, take our hook, put it through, yarn over and pull through that loop to form that slip knot, putting it tight but not too tight because you do need to be able to move it. We're going to make 11 chain stitch to begin with, so that's yarn over and pull through that loop, yarn over and pull through the loop, yarn over and pull through. That's 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So those are my 11 chain stitch, and we're going to work into the second chain from the hook. So we don't count the one on our hook, so that's 1 and 2, and we're going to work into this one. And when we're working into this stitches, we are going to the chain, we're going to work just into that top part there. Don't work through both loops, we're working into the top. You should have a little look, the center part still there and the bottom. So we're going to make 2 UK double crochets, US single crochets into this chain stitch here. So yeah, hook through, yarn over, 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both. We're going to make the second one, hook through, yarn over and pull through. We're going to work into each of this next 8 with a UK double crochet US single. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So we've worked down that side. We are going to increase in this last chain stitch right here. Put your hook through, 1 and a second one in there. And then we're going to work down the opposite side. And again, we're going to be making 8 UK double crochets, US single crochets down this side. But we want to again work into the second side, so just be careful, that's your bottom loop where you did the increase. So we now want to work into the second one, but make sure that you leave that little part that comes through the middle. Don't work into this and makes too big of a hole, so not into exactly the same one, but that second part of the chain stitch. So yarn over, pull through, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now we're going to work into this last chain stitch right here, into the second side of it as well, and we are going to do another increase, so that will be 2 double crochets, 2 UK, 2 single crochets US's into the stitch right there. That's 1 and 2. Now we're going to join, but we're going to work in the round, and I will be using a stitch marker as well, just to keep hold of where that beginning stitch is. It just makes life that little bit easier. So we're going to work in the round, and we're going to start with, again, another UK double crochet, US single. So just yarn through, pull through 2, and mark where that first stitch was, so you know when you come to the other end, that's where you're joining. And for this round, we are just going to make a UK double crochet, US single crochet in each of the stitches the whole way around. You will have 22 stitches, and I will meet you at the other end. Doing my last stitch now. This is obviously the outside, this is the inside, so we just want to turn that up so that that is where the way that we're working now. Take out your stitch marker and work into that first stitch right there with a UK double crochet US single, and this row is exactly the same as last, whole way around. UK singles, sorry, UK doubles, US singles the whole way around. And when I meet you at the other end, to show you what we do next. So I've come to the end of my row, and our next row is going to be a decrease row before we join our next colour. So take out your stitch marker, and we're going to start with a decrease and do invisible decreases. We're going to be doing 2 together, so you have your V. You don't work into the back, you just work into the front. So put your hook through there, and then through the next loop through the front, yarn over and pull through, giving you the 2 loops, yarn over and pull through both. Put your stitch marker back in so that you know where you're at. And now in the next 2 stitches we are going to just make a UK double crochet US single, so into the first one and then the second one. Then we're going to do a decrease again, so in through that front loop only, and through the other one, front loop only, pull through and pull through both. Then 2 normal UK doubles, US singles, and then another decrease. Pull through both. And that will be how you'll work the whole way around. It will be a decrease stitch and then a UK double, US single in each of the next 2 stitches. And I'll meet you at the end when you've done your last 2 decreases. Come to my last decrease that I need to do right here with my last 2 stitches. And this is where I'm going to join in my orange. So put your hook through the front loop there and the front loop there, yarn over and pull through. But before I finish that, I am going to cut my yarn from that one, and I'm going to bring in the orange one. I'm going to loop it round and pull it through those 2 loops to start off my second colour. I'm now going to just tie those 2 together. Now this isn't so bad. We don't have to worry about the finishing in of these ends because they will just go into the centre of our candy corn. So just tie that tight, not too tight that you're pulling your stitches. Just tie it twice just to keep it secure. Put those just inside your candy corn body, just like that. We're now going to take out our stitch marker. And when we're stitching around this one, we are going to work into the back loops only. Now, that's the front loop there that we've been working into for our decreases, right there. And that's the back loop, and that's the one we're going to be working into for the whole of this round. So put your hook through, yarn over, pull it back through, yarn over, and pull through both. Take your stitch marker, put it in. You should have 16 stitches now on your candy corn, and work into the back loops now the whole way around, making that UK double crochets, US singles, the whole way around into that back loop. And I'll meet you when you have finished this round. So I'm at the end of this round. Now we're going to start working through both loops again, and we are going to put back in our stitch marker. That's our first one. And for this one, we're going to work the whole way around, just going to do UK doubles, US singles in each stitch the whole way around. And I will meet you back at the stitch marker when you have finished your round. So I finished this round, and we are going to work a decrease round again. Put your hook through, yarn through, pull it back. So you have a UK double crochet US single, and the same in your second one. And then we're going to use a decrease stitch. So hook through the front loop only, and through the second stitch, front loop only, pull through a loop, 2 on your hook, and pull through both. And then in the next 2 stitches, just UK double crochets US single, and then a decrease again. That's what you're going to do the whole way around. You're going to do a 1 UK double crochet US single in the next 2 stitches, and then work a decrease, and I'll meet you back when you're finished. So I'm at my last 2 stitches, which will also be a decrease. Going through the front loops, yarn over and pull through. But we're now going to join in our white. So we will cut the orange and we'll bring in our white. So we have them 2 loops. We are going to pull through the white to make the loop, and then we're going to join the way we did the last one, which is just to tie a little knot with with the orange and the white. And the second one, just make sure it's not too tight so you don't off loop the stitches. We should have 12 stitches on our candy corn now. We want to continue on, but we're wanting to work into the back loops again like we did when we joined the last colour. Put your hook through, yarn over, and pull through both. Put your stitch marker in, To the next of my back loops and work a UK double crochet US single in each of the back loops the whole way around. You should finish again with your 12 stitches. I will see you at the end of the row. So on my last stitch, we will take out a stitch marker. We're going to be doing the UK double crochet US single the whole way around. Put the stitch marker back in, that's your first stitch. So this round we're going through both of the loops of the, both sides of the stitch again, and we're going to just work a UK double, US single the whole way around, and I will meet you for the next part at the end of the round. I've come to the end of my round, and before we start then we can put in our eyes and also do some of the filling. So if you were to put in eyes, you would want to put them up here in this middle row here, and then a little mouth down here, just like I did with this little one, you can see. So we've now come to a point where we want to do the filling as well, because the next row is a decrease row again and we won't be able to get it in then. Now obviously you can use a box stuffing for these, and I can put a link in the description box down below for one that I do use sometimes, and also I'll show you a little picture up here. But I tend to use, for the smaller ones, I have a tub of all my little scraps of yarn that I do tend to use for this sort of thing, because it's only small and it works really well for that, and it gives me something to use the scraps of yarn on. The only thing I would say is be careful with the dark colours, don't use them, use the lighter colours, especially when you have a lighter colour that you're stuffing, because you don't want the darker colours to show through. So I've stuffed that quite full. I will take out my stitch marker and we are going to decrease again. But in this time we're going to decrease the whole way around, so in every stitch there will be a decrease and we will end up with 6 stitches. So into that front loop and into the front loop of the next, pulling it through and pulling it through, on to the next exactly the same, and working our way around. What I didn't do was put in my stitch marker. I will do that now because I don't want to lose my place. Oops, excuse me. That's my second one. Stitch markers in the first one, that was my second one. We're on to the next one. So in through there and in through the next. Pull it through, pull through both. The next one, pull through both, and then we should only have a couple of decreases left to do. And our last one. And we have finished our row. Take out your stitch marker. Now I do just join to the top of that one with a slip stitch, pulling it long. Make sure you give yourself a reasonable length of yarn for this. If you did feel you needed to add a tiny bit more into here, then at this point you can. Just pushing it in through that little hole that you have at the top. Most of your stuffing should already be done by this stage, so it won't need too much to just fill that last bit. We're going to thread our needle and we are going to work in and out of our loops. In there and out that one. In there, oops, in there and out that one. And then our final one. Then we're going to just cinch that in tightly, like that. And I do just put across a single stitch to hold it. Make sure that it's, oops, my needle's come undone. Then we're going to just finish off our yarn as well. Put your hook, your needle through. Loop your yarn around the needle and pull it through just to make that little knot to hold that so that it doesn't come undone. And then put your needle through the top of your work and come out at the back there, pulling it down like so. Take your scissors and just push down a little bit and cut that end off. And then you can just maneuver around your little candy corn. When you've done the stuffing, make sure that you do get it into these corners here to fill it up. And as I say, I think they look very effective for what you want to do. And there you go. Cute little candy corn, quick and easy to make up, but I do think that they look brilliant. Now if you've enjoyed the video, then please like and subscribe and all them lovely things. Let me know in the comments how you've got on with your little candy corns, or if, like Erica, you'd like me to make a tutorial on something else, just please let me know. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for joining me, for keeping me company, and I'll see you in the next one.